In the ancient Vedic period, the life of humans in India was so smooth and modern. Women enjoyed high status with men in all the aspects of life. They were educated and independent. Rig Vedic verses suggest that women married at a mature age and were free to select their husbands in a practice called Suyamvar. Even live-in relationship prevailed back in the Vedic period in the name of Gandharva marriage. Apart from these, there were 6 other forms of marriage practiced. In total, there were 8 forms of classical marriage, but the esteem of each marriage differed. Rig Veda and Upanishads further mentioned about the several women sages like Gargi and Maitreyi. In Mahabharata, the story of Draupadi's marriage to 5 men is a fact that polygamy was matched with polyandry in the Vedic era. Also in Puranas, every god was shown in the consort of their wives. Idols of god and goddesses were depicted with importance to both genders. The 2 great epics of India, Ramayana and Mahabharata, were women-centric epics. In the Sangam Tamil literature, the reference of women was like brave goddesses and intellectuals. Kotravai is the Tamil goddess of war and victory and also the mother goddess of fertility, agriculture and hunters. She is mentioned in the Pattupattu anthology, the long Tamil poems dated 300 BC. How can we forget about the glory of the great poet Avvayar while speaking of the ancient women's history? She also lived in the Sangam period. Even in the post-Vedic and early medieval period, the status of women was healthy. Equality was there in the society. Education and freedom of women were also ensured. But the land was divided into a lot of kingdoms and princely states. So the impact of division was seen in the society, but the lifestyle was good. There were a lot of examples of women ruling the kingdom, like in the Gupta period, Chandragupta I ruled the kingdom jointly with his queen Kumara Devi. Amarkosh written in the Gupta era, evidently conveying that teaching was also done by female teachers without gender biases. Queen Orisha assumed regency when her son died in the late 9th century and immediately involved herself in the military adventuring. Queen Didde of Kashmir ruled as full sovereign for 22 years. And Queen Jawahir Rabi fought and died as a head of her army. And also the beauty consciousness among women was impressive back in the ancient period. The way women expressed themselves is beyond the present day's knowledge. Check this out. As a whole, it can be concluded that gender equality was totally followed in our Vedic and early medieval period. Humans were treated as humans without gender biases. Humans with potential and ability were prized and celebrated regardless of their gender. Society was equally balanced by both men and women. So it seems like a dream lifestyle, right? Well, now this question would be in your mind. Then how did such a well-structured society become the stereotypical men-dominating society with a lot of social evils in the later period? To answer this question, we have to understand the transition that happened in the medieval and early modern period due to various invasions. Every other social evil against women became a part of the society in the demand of the situation. Nothing is intentional or purposeful. Our ancestors were not cruel, but somehow they were portrayed in that way. The not known reason and history behind such formation of dark society will be addressed in the next part of Women in India. Until then, don't blame or criticize our past without knowing it. We request you to consider subscribing to our channel so that you will not miss any video in the series of Decoding India. Hear me out in the next video. Until then, stay tuned.